Good morning, I'm Wine Guy Mike, and I am your wine consumer advocate. It's Easter weekend, and I've got three beautiful Italian wines that I want to talk to you about. We're going to do these in order from light to full-bodied. First, I want to talk a little bit about the Italian wine laws. There's the IGT, the DOC, and the DOCG. You don't need to be able to pronounce all those, but it is important to understand what those mean. The three wines that I've brought in this flight to taste today to share with you are all IGT. What does that mean? It means they're non-typical of the region in which the wines are grown, produced, and bottled. The DOC, that means the wines would adhere to the Italian wine laws particular to that area or region. The DOCG, that means that the Italian government is guaranteeing that the wines that adhere to those growing, producing, and bottling laws are guaranteed to meet the Italian wine law standards. Does that mean the non-typical wines, like the three beautiful wines in this flight, are not great? No. What this means is the supplier that has brought these into the United States knows these wineries very intimately, and they're great wines. So let's get started. First, I've got a Pinot Grigio, the Thames Pinot Grigio. This is from the Friuli wine region. One thing that I want to point out with this wine, not being a typical wine of that region, it's a beautiful Pinot Grigio. It's just scintillating in the glass. It's got a lot of beautiful viscosity. You can tell that this wine is going to have a little bit more body or a little bit more heft to it than your typical Pinot Grigio. And the thing that I just love about this wine, it's got a beautiful yellow gold color, but there's a copper tinge, and I'm going to tell you, if I'm serving salmon, this is going to be on my table every single time. On the nose, this is beautiful. It's got some nice citrus, a little bit of floral, a little bit of vanilla. Just beautiful. This wine, being non-typical of a lot of Pinot Grigios, is a little bit fuller bodied. It's got a very rich, lush mouthfeel to it. Really nice, clean finish. It's got a little bit of citrus on the palate. Boy, this wine is just beautiful. The Thames Pinot Grigio is just going to be beautiful with your Easter dinner. I would pair this with a nice pork tenderloin because it's got, as I mentioned, a little bit more body to it. And again, if you're serving any seafood dishes, a shellfish, it's got nice acidity, so it's going to cut through a lot of fat if you're doing sauces with your seafood. I can't recommend this wine enough. I really give it a thumbs up. It's a beautiful wine. Let me get this out of the way. Now we're going to move on to the Tenuta Frescobaldi, and this is a wine that's grown in the Tuscany Valley. It's a beautiful wine in the glass, and I've decanted this so that I can understand all the nuances. A lot of nice dark fruit in this wine. Some nice raspberry and some blackberry. It's got a nice ruby red color. Nice viscosity to this wine. The other thing that's important to understand with Italian wines that I really love, especially from Tuscany, you're going to get tannin. You're dealing with tannin. Winemakers love tannin, and tannins can be done well, or tannins can be difficult and overpowering, not well integrated. This wine has cocoa powder-like tannin quality to it. It's very well integrated with the fruit. This wine has got beautiful, beautiful fruit and acid balance. It's 13.5% alcohol, so it's going to be a great food pairing wine. I'm not going to be afraid to do this wine with a ham. I'm going to use this with some lamb dishes. some nice grilled or roasted meats. Just an exquisite wine, and I cannot recommend the Tenuta Frescobaldi enough. I'll have this at my Easter table tomorrow. And I would encourage you to do the same. It's got a really nice, long, clean finish, a little bit of grip to it. That fruit lingers. It's a beautiful wine. Okay, we're going to move on to our third Italian wine, the Lucente. This is also an IGT from the Tuscany Valley. You'll notice the different glasses that I've got. This is a bigger wine than the Tenuta Frescobaldi that I was just tasting. They're both Bordeaux-style glasses. The Tenuta Frescobaldi was a nice blend of Cabernet Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and some Sangiovese, of course, is which they grow in the Tuscany Valley. The Lucente is 75% Merlot and 25% Sangiovese. This is a big wine, but it's a well-made wine. Again, a well-known vineyard from Tuscany. And this wine, the color in the glass really is right on the edge of very deep ruby purple. This wine's a bigger wine. It's 14.5% alcohol. Again, beautiful powder-like tannins in this wine. A lot of nice fruit. There's some earthiness, some nice tobacco with this wine. And one thing we want to be careful with when we're pairing wines, a big wine like this, you don't want with a delicate type of dish. So I'm going to recommend that you're pairing this beautiful wine with some grilled meats, some roasted meats, a beautiful crown roast, even a nice tenderloin with a nice robust sauce on it. I'm going to love this wine with. Nice dark fruits. Get some nice black currant, some black cherry out of this wine. It's very savory, herbaceous. Got a little sagey, a little mininess to it. This is a beautiful wine to have at your Easter dinner table. It's gorgeous in the glass. It's beautiful on the palate. Really nice finish, and this wine just really hits you on the mid-palate. I think you're going to love all three of my Italian wines that I'm bringing to you. Again, these are IGTs, they're non-typical. The supplier really has a handle on going and choosing great wines from vintners, and a lot of these vintners are stepping out of their box and doing things that are non-typical for the region, but they're doing them very well. Again, I'm Wine Guy Mike. Go to my blog at wineguymike.com. I'm your wine consumer advocate. We'll be doing more. Come back and check it out.